Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I was thinking today about that I've used the phrase before in these videos, let go and let God, because I'm all about letting go and easing up on yourself and easing up on your expectation of things around you, enough so that you see the perfection in everything that's happening around you, and encouraging you to focus on your breath and breathing in that sense of everything's right and everything's working just as it's supposed to, and everything will work out to the highest degree that you can dream about it being right and working out. So the more you hold that love sense of, I love what's coming my way, I love what I'm creating around me, I'm loving the pace at which it's all coming to me, when you get all that stuff going, then you're what? I lost my train of thought of where I was going with that. I wanted to talk about this point of let go or let God. So when we think about that, I had a little struggle with it. I had said it a few times, and if you go back to my old videos, you'd be like, yeah, he said it, and he didn't feel good about it. It's like, I don't know, you want to use that term. So I don't use that term. But the reason is because everybody has such a funny concept of God. And so I think that concept of what's God needs to be defined first. I think we used to use the model of he's a dad up in heaven, and, how's your dad towards you? That's where you get the God connection. And so you would represent God as somewhat, judging a little bit, loving, but judging, expecting, hardworking, whatever your paradigm understanding of your predecessor parental units is what you're going to think about God in some relation. So the new paradigm of that would be that God is everything, including us. There's nothing that's not God. But God's a vibration, he's a power, he's an influencer. And, much like the sun just gives, and it creates life. But what's not the sun? What's not light? What's not, it's like it's all varying degrees of it, and all that type of stuff. So there's no darkness power that comes after and blocks out the sun and things like that. That blocking of the sun, we do that ourselves. So we push away the energy of God perfection that's all around us, and we can't not be in it, but we just block it. And how do you know if you're blocking it? You're going to have some kind of struggle. So if you have a struggle, then that's part of that not letting go. When they say let go, let God, it's not let go and let someone else drive you and figure out what that the God of your church says you should be doing. No, it's let go. Let go of the resistance, let go of the fear, let go of the self-doubt. You are more than powerful enough to be anything you could possibly dream of being. Whatever the most delicious thought you've ever had about yourself in a little twinkle once in a while throughout your life, or probably very much so if you can go back to it when you were a child and you had that sense of everything is perfect and the world is just my little playground to explore. Children, that's where they are, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old and up, if you let them alone. if they're caught in an environment where the parents are not letting themselves up and not letting the God source flow through in them and in them and out of them, breathing in the perfection of everything around, breathing out acceptance and appreciation. If they're not the parents that are around the children, then the children will eventually lock down and become, a sort of I don't deserve anything better than I'm getting based on how good I'm being to everyone around me. And so then I look to everyone around me for acceptance and approval, and it's like, it doesn't come from around you. It comes from within. You got to find your own guidance system. You got to let go, and you got to feel your way through. So it's much like the analogy of God has not sent you here like a father and say, build a car or fix the car, being our human body. you know? Like we got to fix this thing, and we got to use this car to then fix other cars or something like that. What the God sense that you're letting go and letting God is letting go of your resistance and just realizing you are the driver of the car. There's nothing wrong with the car. There's nothing wrong with you. You are the car. You drive the car. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to figure it out. You don't need to go to a certain church service to make sure you're, there's no driver's test. You just got to get in and feel your way through. So I guess let's go with the analogy of teaching someone to drive a car. The sense of it is that you need to take control of things and tell it how fast you want to go and tell it all those, which way to turn and all that type of stuff. Well, that is basically the idea, but how we do that is not with our hands and our feet on the gas pedal. It's through your intention. So wherever you look out of the car, it goes there. So whatever you look out of the window, that's where your car is going to go. So look for beautiful things and breathe them in. And say, I want that beautiful thing that I see down the road there. But you realize it's not a possession thing, it's a feeling. You've got to use your emotions, you've got to get in touch with your emotions, trust them, and that's where self-love comes in, and your acceptance of your inner child, struggling soul that's within you, that's part of you, that is your energy ball that we always talk about. That version, that soul, has an inner desire and some skills and knows how to drive a car. He's just waiting for you to get in and let's drive. But you got to sort of get in the soul suit and feel the vibration and say, that feels difficult, that feels scary because what? Why? And you play with it a little bit and say, that seems scary because I'm afraid to do it? Or does that seem scary because I don't need to be messing with that? I'm trying to fix something. And so you just back away from what feels funny and you move to what feels good. And you just got to trust that you're doing that just the way you're supposed to. And you're worthy of being the driver. You're worthy of being a person who creates perfection around them. And you can create perfection around you. But it's not a matter of going and doing it. It's a matter of allowing it. The perfection is already built. The God who is everything around us can manifest up anything instantaneously for us. Jesus came and showed us that. It's not that there's this guy Jesus who we have to worship and sort of figure out what he was trying to say so I can tell myself that. No, he's saying, I am the way. Not you got to get the keys from me. You got to beat them out of my, finagle them out of me because you've done all the right things. No, I'm the way means you've got to be sort of living and acting and feeling like you're Jesus, or you're not on the path. But that seems like a funny thing to say. I don't want to feel like I'm Jesus. But that's how you have a relationship with somebody, because you have a knowing of them on a deep level. The deep level is through your emotions. And just doing less first is what you need to do, because if you don't have a good handle on your emotions now, and you see, if you've got conflict and struggle in your life, then you're not tuned in, tapped in, turned on, as I like to say. So, but very few people are. But that's okay. It's just I'm saying that if you want to get a sense of that and own the fact that you are everything, you are perfection, you are made in the image and likeness of God. You're like a cup of water poured into the ocean. How do we get you back out? You can't. You are the ocean. You're the ocean, you're part of the ocean, however you want to view it. But we're talking about vibration and the fact that we came here to materialize through energy, which is how vibrations create particles and make energy become particles. And we're human bodies now. And we came here to be co-creators and to play with each other and toil through some of the struggles and the emotional feeling of that doesn't feel like the path of least resistance, but this does. And you go towards what's smoother, and you be easy on yourself, and you take that past teaching of I've got something I need to prove to somebody before I'm worthy, or I've got something I've got to accomplish because I came here to fix something, or I'm a victim of something that nothing ever works for me because someone out there, this other party, is making bad things for me. And it's like, no, you're looking out the it's ugly window. And then you just keep focusing on what you see out there, and it gets more and more real, and next thing you know, you've got ugly in your life. And then you say, when's God going to rescue me from this ugly? He's not. That's not how it works. You're driving. So there's no fault in that, though. There's nowhere you really need to go. You came here to learn how to drive a car. You're a perfection soul energy being that came from materialized out of the other side, and bang, here you are. And you're learning to drive this car. And I'm a driving instructor. And I'm just saying, there's some simple tricks, but it's driven through your emotions, and you got to settle down, and you got to put some things down in your life, and you got to slow down, and you got to spend time by yourself, and you got to get sensitive. Once you have the sensitivity to things, then you're like, oh, I do feel where I'm observing some things that I'm calling not good. And when I call something that I observe not good, I've just tied a string around my neck and attached it to whatever that thing is. Now I'm like a puppet to that thing. And it's like when you say, oh, everything's perfect, and don't call things, don't judge things and label things and call things bad, because then you're putting up resistance. But when you say that, people have a struggle with that point. Because it's like, what do you mean don't call anything bad? This is wrong and suffering, and there's people with struggle. Well, when you get good at being sensitive to this energy, and you know that you're loved, and you know that you're the perfect version of yourself, and you know that you're a good driver, and you know that you came here to just drive and find a beautiful scenery in life, and that when you give that freedom to the other people around you, once you own it, you'll give it to other people around you, not by doing, but just by allowing. Just like, well, when you're around my energy, you don't have any disappointment. There's no sense of something you've done wrong. Just my soul's sense of, oh, aren't you a perfect soul? And then I just hold that vibration of, oh, aren't you a perfect soul? Aren't you so delicious? Aren't you so unique? And you just hold that for everything you find around you. But you got to start with yourself. You got to get sensitive and feel that connection to your soul through your emotions. And know that when you have somewhat disturbing dreams, or conflict with others, or something that bothers you, or a worn down day, that's just you not connected to your higher self, your soul. And when young adults do that, they medicate them and call it, depression or ADD or whatever. It's just our youth not wanting to disconnect, because when they're connected, they're going to come out in some way. And if you don't say, oh, that's delicious, the way you're acting, young man, is perfect, if you don't say that to them, then they're going to try to put up resistance, and they're not good at putting up resistance. They're sensitive souls, and that's what we want on the planet. We want to bring sensitive souls in. So the adults in the room need to sort of ease off and start calling things perfect and seeing the perfection in things around them, and doing more with gratitude and self-love, and letting things go, and letting other people be who they want to be, and letting other people express what they want to express. If somebody's trying to climb the emotional scale, you don't find what emotion they're expressing and say, that's not a good one. You're misinterpreting the world, and that's all wrong. No, express what you want to express. Climb up that emotional ladder by expressing each. That's why I said a while ago, if somebody moves into anger, there's a lot of anger on the streets, and sadness and fear and all these struggles. And that's what we want. That's called blossoming. That's what's going to go on inside your head when you open up and you sit with yourself and say, I guess I am a pretty perfect, loved, unique, I want to say gifted, but what I really mean is like with the winning lottery ticket, because I'm here as a human. I got the winning lottery ticket. So use it. It's the key. It's the key to the car. Drive it. And watch how you create perfection around you, and it's so much fun. And then you're just like, whoa, slow the car down. I'm in no hurry to see anything change. I like watching it unfold slowly. It's so beautiful to watch it all unfold. So then you're in no rush, which is one more layer of resistance you've just put down, because you're like, oh, I'm not trying to even make the good things come too fast. It's like, oh, that seems like it's going to be great one day. I can't can't wait. Just sit and let the universe bring it to you. That's how it happens. Its resistance to stopping things is the anti-creator. The creation is what God does. It's what the energy around you is creation. It is manifestation. It is matter controlled by energy. So you can't get it wrong. You never get it done, but you could be asleep at the wheel. That's the only, if you want to call it a crime. It's like you're just, you know, you got the keys sitting on the seat and you're sleeping at the wheel, and it's like, oh, it's such a fun car to drive. You really want to do it. Don't wait until some big event happens in your life where, like, I got really sick, or something went really wrong, or I lost all my friends and my jobs, or, you know, so your world just crumbles down to nothing, that you finally say, okay, I guess I'm in charge here, and I am loved, and I am perfect, and I am just where I'm supposed to be. So from here, little Danny body, what would you like to do next? Let's dream. Let's dream about some things that you could do or become. And that's what the path is. That's spirituality 101. All right, guys. That's it. I'm at 16 minutes, and I'm supposed to try to stop at 15. So anyway, I love you guys, and you know you're loved. You just got to let go of that resistance and say, you know what? Hell yeah, I'm perfect. I'm perfect just the way I am. Anyone who has issue with that can call Dan and ask him, because I'm just going to be who I am, and I'm going to be my perfect version, and I'm just going to love myself and not worry about anybody else. Put the mask on yourself, then you can help other people. That'll be down the road. When you get really good at being sensitive to what's going on, then you'll find your way to sort of just be an influencer. And that's all you really want to do. Just like, hey, I like to drive. You want me to teach you how? That's all. All right, guys, that's it. I rambled again, and I'll see you soon.